Hey, what's up, mortals? It's me, Robert Ramirez, aka Rarzrevenge here. And before we get into the video, there's a few things I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So if you're interested, go to the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if this video hits 300 likes by the end of the week, we'll continue this What If. Thirdly, if you didn't know, only 41.3% of you guys are actually subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the story. Last time, the USJ was attacked by the League of Villains, and Black Adam arrived, causing Izuku to have to reveal the power Shazam bestowed upon him to his classmates and teachers. Although, thanks to Izuku sharing his power with All Might, they were able to take down Black Adam and save the day. Izuku and All Might also let Principal Nezu and Officer Sakauchi know of the secret of their bestowed power. Izuku now has an accelerated timetable, having to find the other 5 champions he can share his responsibilities/powers with before people realize what his power can do.
We finally got back to school. I wonder what's going to happen now since they know,
Izuku thinks while walking to UA. Once getting an eye shot of UA, he sees the reporters.
They're still here, just like yesterday. I wonder if they're going to let me pass this time,
Izuku mutters aloud. Izuku then calmly walks up to the school's entrance, trying to get through but is stopped by them, and they ask him if he can just answer a couple of questions. Knowing they won't let him pass until he at least answers something, says,
"Fine, I'll answer one question."
They all fall silent until one reporter asks, "What is the power that you supposedly have that you haven't shown before?" Izuku looks at the reporters for a moment, then says,
"The reason I didn't show my transformed form is because I used it to help people like a hero. I know I shouldn't have. I should have left it to the real heroes, but I couldn't stop myself from helping those in need."
Izuku then walks towards the entrance, now being let through by the reporters, heading straight to his classroom. Once Izuku opens the doors to his class, everyone goes silent. Izuku ignores the quietness and the stares from his classmate, instead just walking to his desk, then sitting down. All is quiet until Bakugo walks in, immediately locking eyes with Izuku and speedily trusting to Izuku's desk, shouting,
"What was that power, shitty nerd?"
Izuku then looks at Bakugo, saying,
"How about instead of me explaining it, I just show you guys? Bakugo, can you just open the window for me?"
Bakugo then opens the window with confused look.
"What's this for you, nerd?" "Just watch,"
Izuku says with a smile, now running towards the window, then jumping out the window and shouting,
"Shazam!"
Seeing Izuku jump out the window concerns the class, causing everyone to quickly get to the window, where they see a cloud of smoke. Once it clears, they see an adult-looking Izuku flying towards the class. Once getting to the window, Izuku says,
"I can do more than fly in my transformed form. Can I come into the room to show you guys?"
After hearing this, the class moves back into their seats, where Izuku then proceeds to show off his super speed by running around the class faster than they can see, then showing his super strength by picking up some of the classmates with one arm, then showing his lightning off by charging the class's phones. Izuku then gets everyone to attack him as hard as they like, but their attacks don't even leave a scratch. Although in the middle of Ayoma shooting his laser at Izuku, an injured Aizawa walks in, immediately shouting, "What are you doing? Stop now." Then activating his quirk on Ayoma. Aizawa then tries to use his eraser on Izuku, but it doesn't work, which confuses him although. Before Aizawa can get to the bottom of it, Izuku gets to the window and transforms back into his regular form, then sitting back into his chair. Aizawa then walks up to the podium and stares at the class for a second, lost in thought, until Ida says, "Are you okay, sir?" This snaps Aizawa back to reality, saying, "Yes. I just got lost in thought for a second. Anyways, I hope you're all feeling better and more confident after the attack, because we're all gonna need to be ready." The class then bursts out, asking if they were under attack again, but Aizawa tells them to calm down, then going on to explain how the sport festival is coming up, and they all need to be ready. This calms down the class, who then start to get excited about the coming event. They go on through the rest of their day, but they all notice that they're getting stared at in the hall from other students, having Izuku consistently get the most people silently staring at him, eventually coming to the end of the day, when they try and leave for the day but see a crowd of students all around their class door. This event happens like canon, but some of the kids say how Izuku doesn't look like any big deal. After this incident, they go about their regular school lives for the next 2 weeks, as well as training individually to prepare for the sports festival. On the day of the festival, Class 1A walks onto the field, immediately getting stared at by the stands. After the opening ceremony, Izuku gets called up to the stands since he got the most points in the entrance exam. Walking up to the podium, Izuku is giving himself an internal pep talk. Then once walking up to the mic, he says,
Hi. I'd just like to say I hope everyone tries their best, and I hope we can all strive to be the best we can be. And I hope this shows in our performance here. Good luck, everyone!
Once the obstacle race is announced, but Izuku purposely stays in the back of the pack a couple of feet behind everyone else. Then once he hears Midnight yell, "Go!" a bolt of lightning comes down and Izuku moves so fast through the whole obstacle race that no one even sees him, instead just seeing him at the other end going through the finish line. This shocks the crowd, leading to a massive shout of encouragement from the stands. For simplicity's sake, we're going to have everyone get the same position that they did in canon, and we're going to have everyone on the same teams as canon. For the cavalry battle, Izuku is going to use a different strategy where immediately after the battle starts, Izuku transforms and flies super high into the sky with their headband so no one can get it. Then again, for simplicity's sake, we're going to have the same teams who moved on move on. The same battles take place, and for all the battles with the exception of Izuku's are going to happen the same as canon. When Izuku and Shinzo's fight start, Izuku transformed, and instead of responding to Shinzo attempting to get him to talk, Izuku will simply pick Shinzo up and put him outside the ring. Side note, Izuku is only able to stop himself from responding because of the wisdom of Solomon, which keeps him thinking rationally. Once Izuku gets declared the winner, he lands shouting,
Shazam! Hey, you tried your best. I was just able to get through your strategy. I suggest you try to train your body just in case you get into a close-quarter battle, since you are currently most vulnerable then.
Izuku then walks with Shinzo into the backstage, giving more advice about things that could help better him, and giving him lots of encouragement, somewhat forming a new friendship. After getting to the watching area, Shinzo and Izuku split off from one another to their specific classes viewing area, where Izuku then takes note on all other matches, only leaving to give Uraraka words of encouragement for her battle against Bakugo. When walking back to the sitting area, Izuku is stopped by Endeavor, who says, You were very impressive out there. I want you to go all out on Shoto. I need to see how much more training he needs to surpass All Might. Izuku looks at him with an angered look, saying,
Endeavor, Todoroki may be your son, but he isn't you. He gets to decide what kind of hero he wants to be, not you!
Izuku then walks past Endeavor, heading back to the viewing area, feeling bad that he missed the start of Uraraka's fight. Again, the rest of the battle leading up to Izuku goes for the same, but before Izuku and Todoroki's fight starts, Izuku and Todoroki shake hands, wishing each other good luck and respect for one another. Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes over the hard facts of the anime presented. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we have a third channel called Anime Theory. Anime Theory mainly focuses on a large variety of mind-boggling anime theories. If you're interested in content like this, please go check out the description down below, or click the icon in the top right corner. Now with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. Once the fight starts, Izuku powers up to 9% with full call, then dodging Todoroki's ice attacks while yelling at him,
If you're not going to use your full power, then I won't use mine!
Todoroki continues to attack with ice until he and his attacks get much slower. Izuku notices this and uses the decrease in speed to get a clean hit on Todoroki, sending him to the other side of the field, barely staying inside the area. Izuku then shouts,
You have no right to win if you're not going to go all out! I haven't even transformed, and I'm beating you! Use your power! It's yours, not his! And that's why I'm going to win this!
Hearing this, Todoroki finally decides to use his fire side, melting the ice on his body, then yelling, You wanted this, so don't blame me for what happens next. Todoroki then shoots a giant combination attack at Izuku, who smiles at this, yelling,
Shazam!
Once the lightning hits Izuku, he flies at the attack while powering up to 100% full call and electrifying his fist with electricity, then throwing a massive barrage of punches, causing an enormous shockwave that completely cancels out Todoroki's attack and making a giant dust cloud. The whole crowd is silent, filled with anticipation for who the winner is, until they see Todoroki getting thrown out of the cloud, hitting the back wall, then seeing the transform Izuku with a torn up costume and some slight burns. By the way of Out of Bounds, the winner is Midoriya! The crowd then erupts with cheers for Izuku, who smiles before grabbing Todoroki and taking him straight to Recovery Girl. Izuku then tries to sit with Todoroki until he wakes up to make sure he's okay, but is unable to since his match with Bakugo starts. Once walking onto the stadium, he sees All Might giving him a thumbs up while saying, "You can do this, young man!" But he can't hear him because of the distance and loud crowd. Izuku then shouts,
Good luck, Kachan!
but Bakugo just scoffs at the gesture, instead getting into a battle-ready stance. Once Midnight shouts, "Go!" Izuku starts to say Shazam, but gets cut off by a vast explosions that nearly push him off the ring. Realizing Bakugo's strategy, Izuku figures that he needs space, which he can't get without some injury. So right before Bakugo's next attack can knock Izuku out, he does a 60% jump straight up while shouting, "Shazam!" Once the bolt of lightning hits Izuku, he transforms and immediately flies down at Bakugo, attempting to just push him out of the ring, but Bakugo is nearly able to dodge the attack, returning an explosion to Izuku's back in its stead. Bakugo, then heavily breathing, arms shaking from overuse of his quirk, looks at Izuku saying, "Is that all you got, Deku?"
Not even close, Kachan!
Izuku replies, immediately rocketing at him, but right before getting close, he heads upward, shooting electricity at Bakugo, who gets stunned, giving Izuku an opening to push Bakugo out of the ring, giving the victory to Izuku. After Izuku is officially declared the winner, Izuku shouts, "Shazam!" and runs over to Bakugo, offering his hand to help him up, which surprisingly Bakugo accepts.
That was a good fight, Kachan!
Izuku says with a smile on his face,
Yeah, I guess it was, but next time I'm gonna mop the floor with you, now that I've seen your tricks. I can't wait!
The two boys then walk together backstage to get quick checkup from Recovery Girl, having a slight chat about each other's performance in the battle. After getting a checkup and checking on Todoroki, Izuku and Bakugo leave to go accept their medals, which Bakugo begrudgingly accepts, unlike the forceful acceptance like Kanon. Once All Might gets to Izuku, he hugs him, then handing him his medal, whispering, "You did it, my boy! You showed them!" Hearing this causes tears to fill Izuku's eyes while he has a broad smile on his face, then putting his right hand up into the air, tears in his eyes and a smile on his face. After getting the medal, Izuku walks back to his classmates, who all congratulate him, but Izuku can't help but notice that Ida has left without saying goodbye, and that wasn't like him. Izuku then gets pulled over for an interview with President Mike, where Izuku thanks all those who helped him get to this place. Once getting away from everyone, Izuku heads home where he gets a big hug from his mom, who says with tears in her eyes,
I'm making your favorite meal tonight, as congratulations of your victory, Izuku.
Izuku then has a nice dinner and chats with his mom, who tells him about how she was freaking out throughout the festival and cheering him on throughout it. Although after dinner, Izuku gets a text from All Might telling him to meet him at Digabaha Beach in an hour. An hour later, Izuku gets to the beach where All Might immediately picked him up and, in his buff form, giving him a huge hug saying, "Congratulations, young Midoriya! I'm so proud of you! You were able to make my request into a reality, and said I am here to everyone who was watching."
Thanks, All Might. I really appreciate it, but enough about me. How's that extra training going on with the wizard?
All Might's expression goes from happy to concerned, thinking about the training he has had be forced into by the wizard, then saying, "Yeah, it's going, How were you able to go through that?"
Determination, All Might. I was determined to become a hero, no matter what it would take.
The two of them then sit on a beach talking for hours, just talking about the craziness that is their shared power. Although elsewhere, Shigaraki is talking to a monitor discussing their plans on how they were going to get rid of the inevitable nuisance that will eventually come from Izuku Midoriya. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now, there's a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writers for this video, as well as the editors for this video. Their details will be in the description down below. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the recruitment Discord that is in the description down below. We're always looking for more members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you like the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day!